Greetings, fellow 121 attendees. My name's Don Smith. I'm from Tempest Minerals. You probably haven't heard much about us, perhaps because we're relatively new. So it's my job here today to take you for a bit of a tour through our company and what we're up to. So as you guessed, we're a minerals exploration company based in Perth, Western Australia. Here's our disclaimer. I'm sure many people have read one of these before. I'll leave that for your own time. Quick profile on the company. We've got a great team. We have an experienced board who are qualified not just to be an exploration company, but to be a mineral development and production company as well. We've got a great technical team, and our projects, and many people use this word, but our projects are world-class in a stable jurisdiction in Western Australia, and we have a diversified metal exposure. Our targets are huge, and we've got lots of them, and we've got a big news flow and exciting exploration coming. In terms of our projects, we have a diversified portfolio, and that totals to about a sum of about 1,000 square kilometres here in Western Australia, separated over a few different projects. Our focus at the moment is the Yalgoo region, which is a kind of unloved region. Not many people have heard of it. It's only, despite it being only 5 hours north of Perth, but it is also host to half a dozen world-class deposits, several million ounce deposits, and one of Australia's most prolific base metal mines, the Golden Grove, copper, zinc, gold, silver, volcanogenic massive sulfide, VMS camp. You can see there in the red circle. The thing about the Yalgoo region, which is one of the reasons that attracted us to it, is that it is major infrastructure. So we've got rail, road, water, power, communications, everything you need to start a mine. So the barriers to entry to exploration and development are quite low. As I said, it's quite close to Perth, only 4 hours drive, and there's a large number of very serious deposits in this area, which hasn't been explored since those deposits were discovered mostly around in the 1970s. And a few other people are starting to catch on to this at the moment. We've seen in recent times a big influx of other explorers, and you can see some of those down there. Right now, we're doing work on the Messenger project. The Messenger is the northernmost project in our Yalgoo portfolio. It was originally discovered in the early 1900s, one of the early gold discoveries in West Australia. And they were mining it at an average grade of between 2 and 10 ounces. And there was a state processing facility, a state battery there at this time. But after that, it basically has been forgotten about and has been in the hands of prospectors or explorers who haven't done much there in the intervening 100 years or so. So that's a great opportunity for us, and we're right into that. And for those that are interested, that large piece of gold in the bottom left of the screen there, that's about 30 centimeters across, about two fists worth. Zooming in a little bit, you can see what we're up to right at the moment. You can see we've got the Dali target in the middle of the image there, and this is a well-established, it was not very visible in previous geophysical data. However, we've recently remodeled the entire region, and we've got this striking northeast trending magnetic anomaly, which coincides with both the geochemical anomaly and indeed the line of strike of several of those shafts, which fed the 2 to 10 ounce per ton production that I mentioned earlier. So we're currently drilling there right now. We're very excited and looking forward to seeing some great results out of that. You can see the little drilling that has been done there in the past, little effective drilling anyway, because they didn't have access to the big data that we do now. One of those intersects there intercepted 2 meters at more than 200 grams, including 1 meter at 450 grams per ton. So if we can get anything near that grade, we're going to be very excited. Also in this drilling campaign we're doing right now, we are going to test the Wally target, which is in the top left of that image you can see there. This is a circular magnetic anomaly, and this is very common among VMS deposits, volcanogenic massive sulfides, such as the Golden Grove deposit, which is only less than 10 kilometers to the south of where we're looking at right now. At the end of last year, we did some drilling at our Warrior West project. So this is one of our original projects when we started looking in this area. And what we're looking for here is an intrusive related gold system. And many people may know, although slightly different geology, in this exactly the same style is the Hemi deposit, which has made large headlines in 2020 in the Pilbara. So this is exactly the same style of mineralization we're looking for here. And we know that there's been high-grade gold production from quartz veins in the south of our project. And so when we drilled in the north of the project, we found widespread gold throughout the shallow surface drilling we did. And we also hit one of these high-grade quartz veins and got about 1 meter at 5 grams. Now, one of the exciting things about this is that its proximity. So as I mentioned, there's a number of mines in this region, and you can see that picture of the drill rig down there in the bottom center of the image. And there's an underutilized gold processing facility only a few kilometers away in the distance there. The next target I'd like to talk about is slightly to the east of where we were just looking. And this is what we call the Meleya project. So we're very excited about this in particular because this represents a new discovery of the key rocks that host two world-class deposits. So in late 2019, early 2020, we had a theory that some of these rocks that host Golden Grove in particular weren't on the left-hand side of the picture here, where people have been looking for the last 20 or 30 years, that they actually wrapped around here. And no one has looked here before because the government geology map said that this was a barren area. And indeed, when we went out there and did some exploration, we found that to be quite incorrect. And so we did wide-spaced geochemical sampling over the top of this entire region, which is many tens of kilometers of highly prospective rocks that no one has explored before. And our geochemical sampling was all anomalous. So we did it with the hope of finding small areas where there may be some kind of ping, and basically the whole thing came back as anomalous. So this is very exciting, to say the least. So in this slide, we can see a bit of evolution of what I was just talking about there. On the left-hand side, we found one of the key outcrops of the greenstone belt there, which, as I mentioned, has never been explored before. So none of this region has ever had a lease on it before because the maps showed it as something which it is not. And although there is some cover there, these rocks are outcropping. So we're able to walk up straight up to it, start mapping, start sampling, and later in the year, we're planning on drilling some of the many targets we've generated through our innovative geochemical and geophysical sampling you can see on the right-hand side there. The Euro project. So if we're heading slightly further south along the Yalgoo Greenstone Belt, and we come upon yet more large-scale mines, including the world-class Mount Mulgine tungsten deposit here, which was originally a gold deposit, and several 100,000 ounces came out of the pits there. Then we have the Rothsay mine there, owned by Silver Lake Resources, more than 1 million ounces if you put all the resources together. And you've got Carrara, which is several billion tons of iron ore, but was originally a gold discovery 100 years ago. So a small gold shaft was put in there. And the same rocks that hold all those deposits wrap straight through our project here, which is highly underexplored. However, in the 1990s and early 2000s, there was some basic exploration done there. There was some drilling done, mostly looking for iron ore, and some gold was discovered there in the 1990s, but the price was a lot lower than it is now. And so intercepts of 17 meters at a gram, 15 meters at 2 grams, they've just kind of disappeared into the annals of history. But we've dug them up in our extensive data research and gone, that would be a mine anywhere else in Western Australia right now. So we see this as a realistic target for a path to production in the short term. And for those that are more geologically inclined among us, you can see this beautiful quartz carbonate veining that we have there. And that kind of veining is perfectly at home at any of the pits in the region. And we discovered that just before Christmas time. And we think that we're onto something pretty exciting there, to say the least. Moving on, we're in the Mount Magnet region. We have a modest landholding here, located right in between three other ASX listed companies, including the $2 billion market cap Ramelius Resources there. Our project, which is in the dark blue on the picture, is located along strike of two new discoveries, which the geology in this region is now being understood not to be thin quartz veins, as is typical exploration in Western Australia, but more large-scale intrusive related bodies. And those exact same rocks are present within our project, and we have geochemical anomalism going all across our project, as well as some undocumented mines, as you can see in this picture in the center of the screen here. We're looking forward to getting into some further exploration in this later in the year. So I mentioned earlier that we've got a great team. We've got a supportive and knowledgeable board. We've got a history of success. And a big thing I want to bring up is our culture. We're driven to succeed. So everyone in the team, everyone on the board, we're all shareholders. Two of the board are the two largest shareholders, and we have a real incentive to make this into something special. We have a big belief in sustainability. That comes from our history as a lithium exploring company, and just a general, it is the future of the mining industry, is understanding sustainability and using good science and data-driven exploration. Here's a quick overview of our board. Many of you may recognize Brian Moller on the left-hand side, who's a hard-hitting and extremely experienced professional in the mining industry. The rest of the board, as I mentioned, extremely qualified, and we're looking forward to tapping into some of those skills going down the track. Corporate-wise, we've got a modest market capitalization of about $8 million. We've got 270 million shares on issue, and you can see that we're in this for the long term. Our share price shows a steady but slow increase, and that's a reflection of the way that we work. In terms of promotion, we've got drilling going on, as I mentioned earlier, at the Messenger project, and we should have some results of that coming out by the end of March. We've got field work at all our other projects running in tandem, and results coming from that also in the coming months. And I'll be attending the 121 event that we're at right now, as well as several other events later in the year. There's a quick graphic showing the things that are coming up for Tempest in the next few months. And feel free to follow us on all your social media. Thank you very much for your time, everyone. Look forward to talking to you here at the 121 event.